Welcome to Catamount Football with Coach Matt Land. This is Bill Mayo, your host, and on this week's edition, we're going to take a look at the season opener for the 2012 season against Ringgold. Also talk about open week preparation and then maybe the upcoming game against Calhoun. But first, before we do, let's talk a little bit about, since the last show we did, it was at camp at Tusculum. Right. There's been a lot that's happened with the Catamounts in those 30 days. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, you've got the one that's going to happen every year. School starts.
Right.
And suddenly now we had them in that nice aquarium where it was just us and them, and now we've got teachers and girlfriends and mamas and daddies, and that's all a great integral part of their experience here at Dalton. But it has gotten busy, and obviously we had the missing practices from the GHSA and their restrictions. We were talking, early on we talked about it being about 9 practices that we were missing. Right. So we've made the most, the kids have made the most of every opportunity, whether it was board time, walkthroughs, practices, to absorb everything that we can. I think you'll see in the film there's still a little bit of sloppy play that you're going to get, but as a result, the kids have worked hard to get to this point, and we're ready for the season now.
All right, very good. Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have a game recap of the Ringgold game.
Got car problems? That's no problem for AAA Transformers Transmission Specialists. Bring your foreign or domestic vehicle into AAA Transformers and have our certified master technicians perform the most comprehensive diagnostics over any other shop. AAA Transformers utilizes the latest technology, so you can rest assured that you get the proper diagnosis the first time, so only necessary repairs are made. Save time and money on all your brake, AC, tune-up, and transmission needs, all backed by the best warranty in the business. That's AAA Transformers Transmission Specialists.
When is the last time you have compared your car, life, or health insurance cost? At Advanced Insurance Strategies, we know your time is valuable. Therefore, we have developed AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com. You can now go online anytime, anywhere, and get quick and easy quotes for your car, life, or health insurance from respected companies such as Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia, Assurant Health, Alliant Health Plans, and Drive Insurance from Progressive. Receive unparalleled customer service from a local insurance agency while using AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com.
Back on Catamount Football with Coach Land. Coach Land, let's talk a little bit about last Friday night's game against Ringgold. It was certainly first off, the crowd was amazing. Turnout was fantastic, and Ringgold was sky high for that game. It was quite an emotional evening for those folks, wasn't it?
It was, and that is, I made a comment on one of the after-game shows that was interviewing. That to me was high school football. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people watching TV right now are going to look back and go, that's the way it used to be. Well, you know what? It's still that way. It's still that way. It's a little bit different every now and then. But, the crowd, the atmosphere, I mean, it was just electric. The emotion. I think, we talked a little bit about that as a staff before we went out, just the sheer emotion of the game and what that community felt and what our community felt, because, there's a little bit of conflict of emotions there where there's been so much concern, there's been so much thought, so much help that's been given through our churches and through our civic groups and things like that. And, some of those guys, I'm sure, somewhere inside those shoulder pads had to reconcile that a little bit. But our kids did an outstanding job. Our coaches did an outstanding job of maintaining focus. Ethan Fromm said in the paper when he said, hey, we can care for them and we can help build them back, but those 48 minutes, it's about competing. And so I was excited that it was such a big night for the Ringgold community. It was great to see. The coach said it. He said, when we was talking before the game, he said, I'm just glad football's back. Right. And I think that meant a lot more than just football. I think that meant it's good to have life back. Right. And there's still a lot of rebuilding to do, and our thoughts and prayers from the Catamount family goes out to them still. And there's still probably a lot of work to be done. But, outside of that, what a great atmosphere, and I think the stands, the fans, everybody did an outstanding job with the sportsmanship, and that's going to be one of the things I know we'll talk about as we go through this season, because that's going to be one of the things that the officials are going to just talk more and more about.
And the Tigers put up a heck of a fight. I mean, 21-19. Last second of the game, they've got the ball trying to move it down the field. I mean, it was quite a football game.
Well, and we had watched a lot of film. And not this year's film, last year's film, and watched a little bit in their scrimmage with Ooltewah. They were a very big team, very big in their lines, their offensive line, their defensive line, and then probably better than probably some of the years, at least of recent that we can remember, They're skilled guys. I thought their skilled guys were really exceptional.
Quarterback was outstanding.
And that's the trigger man. You know,
Yeah.
He's an outstanding athlete. He's a multi-sport athlete. And he's a guy I mean, he makes it all click. And he does a great job of reading defenses, getting them in right plays. I think Coach Akins and Coach Fleming, offensive coordinator, I think they do a great job of creating packages for their offense that they will be successful with. And then defensively, you know, I mean, I know you guys ran into it. They're just big.
They are big.
And it is hard to move, you know, a guy that weighs 40, 50 pounds more than you. And we were giving up 40, 50, 60 pounds on a couple of guys.
Especially on the interior guys.
Oh,
they were really
yes.
big inside, and their linebackers were very active. Number 43, I don't remember his name, but he made a lot of tackles and really did a great job of running downhill and making some big hits.
Well, you know, the thing when you look at their defense, I think what they do well is they load those big guys up in the middle, and then they're going to force you to run outside or to be so patient, pounding it inside, just trying to get those 1 or 2 or 3 yards. And I think we'll see that in the film. Our guys did an outstanding job just trying to get what we could get inside. But, you know, that's a fight we're going to have some this year, so that could be a little bit of a preview of the season.
Had some old faces show up for Dalton that our fans are used to seeing for the last couple of years play well, but a couple of new guys, right? Kelvis Rhodes especially popped up, made some big runs and did some good things for the offense.
That's right. I mean, we're going to be a tailback by committee, but at some point one guy is going to begin to kind of separate himself, and Kelvis did a great job of taking the most of the opportunities that he had. You know, Hunter Cleary is going to be a consistent for us. You know, at fullback, looking forward to getting D.L. Goins back hopefully this week. So, you know, it's good to have those back. Then you got those names, B.J. Rowland and Jake Roberts, who've sat in that offensive line, Brandon Dale at receiver. You know, those are some consistency there. But there's a lot of new faces in there. We got some sophomores that are getting their first game action, and it was exciting to watch those guys.
That's right. We're gonna take a break and come back and with some more Catamount football here in just a minute.
Great.
AstroTurf is grateful to have been a part of this community over the last 40 years. And as Whitfield County has grown, AstroTurf has grown to be the leader worldwide in synthetic sports surfaces. Our assistance with the area parks and the new AstroTurf arena will hopefully show the community our appreciation. Soft, safe, and the most durable technology available today, AstroTurf, it's the new generation. This is not your father's AstroTurf.
Welcome back to Catamount Football. We've got our key players of the game segment. Coach, before we go to those interviews, let's talk a little bit about the defense overall Friday night. Had a lot of young guys on the field for the first time, and tough assignment against that Ringgold option offense.
No doubt, and that's going to be one of the challenges for these first couple of games is getting those guys the reps they need to feel comfortable at their positions. We do return 2 starters in Leighton Reese and Robert Hardaway, which are really 2 anchors for our whole defense. And we'll talk a little bit more about Robert later on, but specifically Leighton, you'll see some big plays in this game out of Leighton, particularly late in the game, the 2 holding penalties. Inside, Ethan Marlowe and Jordan Keener are 2 new starters, Ethan being a senior and Jordan being a junior. But there are going to be a couple other guys that rotate through there. Salvador Alejandro and Larry Hernandez, those guys will give us our kind of 4 that we've always played. But we will see some offensive guys, Chris Hicks, Jake Roberts, B.J. Rowland. They could come over and spell us a little bit inside, particularly in a team like this where we had a little bit more size. Our linebacking core is pretty solid, but they are new faces. All are new starters. Edward Moore was moved from the inside backer to the outside backer. And then on the other side of him is Devontae Davis and Elijah Stedman. And we'll have a little bit of a rotation there. Inside is Lyle Durham and Jake Rockhold. And that's, you know, those, it's good to hear that name again, you know, to have that. And Lyle has really stepped up and been a great leader for us in all season. And then in our deep secondary, we'll have Ethan Fromm, who's a returning starter, Nathan Bryant, and then Chris Childs, who came over from our offensive side, and then Jace Chastain. So we're going to have –
And Brandon Dale, too.
And Brandon Dale, that's right. You saw him the other night because he started actually for us last year. So we'll have a full kind of cadre there that's rotating in and moving through. But our seniors, our core leadership there, will be what leads us.
Touch on real quick the overall performance of the defense from Friday night, what you thought.
Well, you know, it's always tough. To me, it's tougher on a defense in the first game than it is the offense because you're not sure. You really don't know. You know, you go see a scrimmage, and we all do the same thing. You show 2 plays and 3 formations. You know, and so you just really don't know. New offensive coordinator, the prior offensive coordinator was a new head coach, and so you know, we knew what we thought. We had some conversations, you know, gratuitously before the scrimmage. But you really don't know. And so I thought they adjusted and adapted well. They got a steady dose of the veer. They saw a lot of pistol, and that's something that we don't see a lot of at practice. So overall, a lot of things we need to correct. Great that they're all correctable. Outside of that, what I saw was a defense that was on the field considerably more than our offense,
right.
And condition-wise was perfectly fine.
Excellent effort, too. I think both sides of the ball all the way around.
No doubt.
That's one thing you can't argue with.
That's right.
Well, let's watch the video clip of Robert Hardaway talking about Friday night's game.
That's right.
Our defense tonight, we ran into a couple struggles, a couple walls we had to knock down, and Ringgold played a great game. We gave up some plays we definitely shouldn't have given up, and had some calls that we thought didn't go our way, but overall we got a lot to work on, but we came out on top. We're thankful for that. When we came in at halftime, we made a couple of minor adjustments, and then we knew that the reason that we hadn't been playing the way we should is we just weren't doing the things we knew we were coached to do, the things we were supposed to do, and we just had to step up and make the plays we're supposed to make and not just the big ones. On the second turnover we got was right in the middle of the field on the 40 or 50, and it put the offense in a good scoring position, and it got some momentum going for us, and momentum's everything in this game, so that made a huge difference in the second half, and that, I think overall that may have been a huge contributing factor to the win. Being chosen as the defensive captain by my teammates is words can't describe. It's just feel the love for my teammates, and I love them, and I'm so thankful for the team that I have.
Wood, 299. Wood, 159. Set. Mike Jones here, and you better blitz to Carpet Express. We have 3/4-inch hardwood for $2.99 a square foot. We have engineered wood for $1.59 a square foot. And to help you reach your goal to put wood in your home, Carpet Express is offering a 25-cent a square foot rebate. So rush into Carpet Express while supplies last, because everybody's out to get their quarterback.
Have you ever heard the term, your eyes are your expressions, the windows to your soul? But when your eyelids look tired and they start to sag, it will make you look much older than you actually are. There is a simple surgical procedure called a blepharoplasty or eyelid tuck, which can help to rejuvenate and redefine the contours around your eyelids. It will even improve your fields of vision, and a portion may even be covered by insurance. We can help redefine how others see you.
Back to the Catamount Football Show, continuing to talk a little bit about the key player segment. Now, Coach, let's talk about the offense a little bit from Friday night. Kind of a helter-skelter, you know, or I don't know if helter-skelter is the right word, kind of sputtered at times, but other times moved the ball really well. 96-yard scoring drive, I mean, that was fantastic.
Well, you know, anytime you score quick, there's a little bit of a distorted figure in time of possession. That's why you can't just get completely enveloped and go, well, you know, we had it this, that. We scored quick. We had big plays. We had 5 plays of over 25 yards, which is what we call a big play. So that was good. It's one of our team goals, one of our offensive goals. But, you know, when I looked at our offensive tape and I looked at our offensive, what I saw, though, was really some guys that were making some quick on-the-field adjustments, basically side adjustments based on jumping formations, based on guys lining up, maybe where we'd not practiced. And to me, that showed some maturity. I mean, how did you feel about those guys, well, particularly inside? We
started out of the 5 starting offensive linemen, 4 of them were new starters. Even though Jake Roberts played a lot last year, he didn't start for us, and he played a different position last year. And we played 2 other guys, Hunter Nelson and Dakota Tankersley. So we played 7 offensive linemen, which is great. We want to do that. I think the most disappointing thing is we had a chance to end the game twice. 7 minutes and 32 seconds. We had a chance we had the ball, let's grind it out and keep it. And then we get it back with 2 minutes and 50 or whatever the clock was and had a chance to end it again. I think that's something that we really need to look at and improve on. And that's the guys up front. The defense knows you're going to be running it. You've got to hunker down and come off the ball a little bit more and drive your legs. But I think overall, I thought the offense did well. Kelvis, new back there, young fella, made some great runs. Some things. But when you watch the film, there's see some areas for improvement. For him as well. So I think it's exciting to win the game, but it's also nice to look at the film and say, man, we can be a lot better than this. I mean, so the improvement from week 1 to week 2. And then on throughout the season, I think it's going to be interesting to watch with these guys because I think you'll see the offense become a lot more fine-tuned and a lot more machine-like, kind of like we were last year.
Well, we've got great leadership in that core, and that was one of the things that happened this week at practice. We voted for our captains, and we asked each of our teammates to vote basically for 2 captains, 2 on offense and 2 on defense. And with that being the case, the highest voters were voted basically captains for the year, and we're going to use those other 2 spots to kind of rotate to make sure our captainship is moved through because all these seniors have done great. But Robert Hardaway was elected our captain on defense, and B.J. Rowland was elected our captain on offense. And I think we're going to hear from B.J. right now.
That's right.
We had a great game. I mean, we had a lot of things to work on, but a victory's sweet. It feels really good. We love all our teammates. We pushed hard through it, and we're just going to benefit the rewards of victory. We got a better look at the defensive line, and we saw that we were lining up in different alignments, and so we picked up on people who to block back and make different adjustments on blocking, and then luckily our backs hit those holes, and we got it done. So in the turning point, it was 2 things. One, it was us getting the first score, and then also the defense stepping up when the offense didn't deliver. So it was definitely a team effort, and this game was a great team win. It feels great. I love all my teammates, and to show that they love me back is just an undescribable feeling.
No, I'm not at home today. No, now I can have all of my phone calls forwarded and do all kinds of cool things now that I've signed up with OptiLink.
You're the star with OptiLink from Dalton Utilities. Local customer service, lightning-fast internet, stellar phone and television at affordable rates.
I'd like to thank my mom and my friend Cassie and the phone guy from OptiLink.
Don't you deserve the star treatment? Sign up with OptiLink today.
With OptiLink, I'm the star.
Just a place to eat. Enjoy community, tradition, and unbeatable home-style cooking at the Oakwood Cafe, located in historic downtown Dalton. Our food, fair prices, and friendly staff have made the Oakwood Cafe one of the fastest-growing businesses in Georgia. We offer catering services that can bring our distinctive flavor anywhere. We also provide the opportunity to team up with us through franchising. Whether you're a newcomer or a regular, stop by and have the dining experience you've needed. Come feel at home with us at the Oakwood Cafe.
Welcome back to Catamount Football, and I've got assistant head coach Jim Bennett with me. Coach Bennett, thanks for coming on the show. I know you're excited to be here.
It's always a pleasure, Bill. Always a pleasure.
Now let's talk about I talked to you at camp, and there's been a lot of football practices since camp. Talk about the development of your defensive line guys and the defense overall, kind of since camp now after the first week of the season.
Well, my defensive tackles, we had no experience coming back, and so basically we were starting over. Jordan Keener and Ethan Marlowe and Humberto Corona have emerged as my top 3. And then we've got some other guys. Larry Fernandez played some. Salvador Alejandre played. And I've got to get Uriel Perez ready to go. So we're we've got 6 guys that we're getting ready to play 2 positions.
You talked about that at camp about doing that. What is that? What do you get out of that, or what do the kids get out of that? What do you feel like that adds?
It gives them a sense that, hey, I know that I've got a role, and it may be 5 plays tonight, maybe 10 plays, but you know, I've got a stake in it, and when I get my opportunity, I got to give it my best shot. So it gives them a sense of knowing, hey, somewhere along the line, I'm going to get in.
Makes them work harder in practice too. I know it makes practice better for those guys, right?
It sure does.
Now, how about Friday night? Ringgold presented a lot of problems with various different option schemes that they ran at us. I'm sitting there in the press box watching. I mean, they blocked it a bunch of different ways, and they ran a bunch of different versions. Talk about that, what that does to your guys.
They had a great game plan. They executed very well. Ringgold played an outstanding ball game, and they took advantage of some things, huge line splits, and took advantage of our inexperience. And like you said, they ran a couple of schemes that felt like I was playing against Nebraska a couple of times in their midline schemes. But you know,
explain what if somebody watching, because that's not an option scheme that you see a whole lot anymore. But just kind of briefly explain what the midline is.
Midline is they're going to read your 3 technique. The fullback's going to dive up in A gap. If the 3 technique squeezes down, the quarterback pulls it, and then his next option is to turn it up in the B gap. And
that's what was happening a lot Friday night. That's why he was popping right out in the middle of the field, right?
Right, but it's not necessarily where he's running upfield. It's more like he's hitting that crease and running toward the sideline. And they were reading the fullback and running the tailback through to lead on our linebacker. So basically, it was a quarterback lead.
Right.
And their quarterback's a great athlete, and he made some plays.
Yeah, I think one thing for defense to be a really good option team, it's nice to be able to, for the guys to see those looks in practice, and when you don't see that, that's sometimes kind of what you get is all of a sudden you see the pitch man running free or the quarterback running free because of the assignments.
Well, you know, again, we started 7 guys on defense the other night that had not started a varsity football game.
Right.
And so they took advantage of inexperience and a little lack of discipline. It wasn't a lack of effort, but we had guys in the wrong places, and sometimes we had 2 guys on the quarterback, nobody on the pitch, and you know, that's just a young group's mistakes.
Certainly be a good teaching film, won't it?
Oh yeah, we'll get that corrected.
Now let's switch gears one second. One other major change, and it's sitting right behind you here, is the new uniforms, and you had a big hand in that. Talk a little bit about the selection and the thought to go with the stripes and the whole thing.
A little old school. Coach Land had a big hand in that.
All right.
But
we all know you're the uniform guy.
Exactly. You know, it's a more traditional look. You know, just the basic red and white. And again, I mentioned Nebraska a minute ago, but it's got a lot of Nebraska look to it, and some Wisconsin, and you know, it's just classic football.
Outstanding look on the field. One other thing I want you to touch on real quick is, and there's one sitting there to your right, is, you know, a lot of parents are concerned about their young kids playing football and all the concussion talk. Talk about the technology and what our guys are wearing and what that does for them.
We have 4 helmets in our equipment room. We have 2 helmets that are made by Schutt, 2 helmets that are made by Riddell. And the bottom line is how the helmet fits. They all come out rated about the same as far as impact test, but every kid's head is not shaped the same way. So what we try to do by having 4 different helmets is making sure we've got the correct fit for their head, and they'll come in and say, well, Coach, I want one of those. Well, that's great, but if it doesn't fit your head correctly, it doesn't matter which helmet it is. So we have an option of making sure that they get a helmet on that's going to fit correctly. And the new rule now is you see a lot of it, especially in college games where the helmets will come flying off. NCAA, and also it's filtered down to high schools now. If your helmet comes off during a play, you've got to come out. And
it's just about player safety, make sure they get it back on, buckled up the right way, and so if it needs to be looked at by a coach, they can look at it and fix it, right?
So, you know, again, the fit of the helmet and the shape of the head, that's a big key for us.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I always enjoy having you, and stay right here, back with more Catamount football in just a minute.
Thank you.
We got a hit. Here comes dinner!
I'm not eating that.
There's no place like Outback for our perfectly grilled shrimp and new Royal Port catch.
I can't believe you guys didn't catch anything.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy. Get one-on-one training from former professional and collegiate players, featuring indoor baseball and softball training facilities, ground ball area, 3 pitching mounds, and 4 batting cages. Performance Sports Academy is also available for team rentals. Call 706-537-3169 today and train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy.
Honesty, integrity, and hard work, leadership, quality, and value. Just a few words to describe the company and people that make up Shaw Industries. Shaw Industries, the world's leading carpet manufacturer, is proud to be a sponsor of Dalton Catamount football. Shaw Industries, where great floors begin.
Welcome back to Catamount Football, and we're going to take a look at the first half highlights. Coach Lamb, beautiful stadium like we talked about earlier, great looking field, and there's our 4 captains coming out for the opening toss.
In great looking uniforms.
They are looking good.
It's good to have that old look back, and we're excited about that. The kids were really excited. But yeah, what a beautiful stadium. A great turf field made by one of our local companies here, Shaw Industries.
Probably what, 10,000 people would you guess?
Absolutely, man.
At the game Friday night?
Yes, all of it, and from a budget standpoint, Coach Akins was very happy. We played this week 0, so yeah.
I bet he was.
We see Brandon Dale going to be one of our returners this year, and he's just an electric guy that we got to get the ball to. But you see number 43 that you'd mentioned there earlier.
Here's a toss sweep, 3 big blocks right there. Jake Roberts, Hunter Cleary, and B.J. Rowland pulls around and knocks down the safety, and there goes Kelvis for about 50 yards for a touchdown.
I love seeing that right there. Man,
a lot of excitement. Here comes all the white shirts down there to
I'm sure that first row didn't, but
yeah, they weren't too happy.
They were a little close, I
That's
think,
right.
to the action. But no, it's good to see those guys
get a
down the
replay.
field.
Here comes. Look, not many teams pull their center, but there's 61 BJ knocking down the safety.
Perfect.
That's the last guy, and there they go. And there's Will Irwin coming from the backside, getting in front. Didn't even have anybody to block. So great way to start the game. That was the second offensive play of the game.
There's not many days that you see a play that's exactly the way you draw it up. And that one, they were in the exact defense. We were in the exact offense. Here's our new kicker, Kiko Rodriguez. Our new holder is Brandon Painter. Good shot there of Kelvis and BJ and Hunter Cleary and Brandon Dale. Those guys excited. Look at our great fans, though. Great fan support. We really appreciate all of our fans coming out this week. And Eder Moore kicking off for us, and we get a little break there and puts the ball on the 16. One of our goals is to start inside the 25 each time, and we've satisfied that just about every time the other night.
Lots of loyal Catamount fans sitting in the stands.
Great. Here they come out, and we just big old splits with big old bodies, and that's the mark of a nice offense when you can do that. But our defense, you see some guys there. Great play right there by Robert Hardaway, and a great play here. And this right here, they called interference on it. And said that he had his shirt. We'll accept that. Come back, run another veer. Great job by Jake Rockholt there coming in, making a great play.
That's how you play the option, right? Hit the dive, hit the quarterback.
You got it.
Hit the pitch man.
That's exactly right. Great job right there. And Jordan Keener got mentioned earlier, working his way down the line. This is going to be a very aggressive defense this year. See a good job right here. Humberto Corona, another inside guy I failed to mention earlier. It's going to be a great player for us as well. He's got a great motor. But, yeah, right there. Take the dive, take the quarterback, take the pitch. That's exactly what you want. Good job there. Leighton Reese is going to be a name you go here a lot this year as well. Move the ball down to the goal line, and right here is just a great job. Robert Hardaway, Eder Mora, Humberto again, just stacking it up right there. Just a great job. So then they come back and run just a hard dive. This is a good fullback. That's the one thing you can't be, remiss about. They were a good football team.
Absolutely.
And I thought this fullback was a great job. They missed the field goal, and boy, did that prove to be crucial because it caused, and that's why special teams are so important.
Yep, and I think that some of that may be an offshoot of the shortened practice times too. You may see some kicking game issues. We had a short possession here, and Eder comes out and does a nice job of getting a good roll and backs Ringgold's offense up.
And I think you bring up a good point there to stay on is special teams is something that had to get shortchanged by most teams to get in enough practice time. Now this is a new rule. Helmet comes off, player has to come out. So they drop back and pass. Great job right there of Devontae getting his hands up. And, you know, natural reaction, he catches it. It's the worst thing that could have happened because really you just wanted to play to be dead and move back to the line of scrimmage. But great job right there, Devontae. He's going to be an exciting player this year. He gives us a lot of speed off the corner. So we now go into the second quarter. We're up 7-6. Our defense is going to still be on the field right here. See a couple of our water boys this year. But here comes Jordan Keener. Great job pursuing. And right there, that's as good as you can draw it up. Leighton Reese stayed at home, read his keys, stayed with his man.
Smelled out the screen. And
absolutely.
Did a nice job of not falling for it and sitting right there to make the play.
Great job right there. Great job. Great job. And, you know, I tell you, that's a hard play, but now we're back on offense.
Come back on offense, running an option. Cole Calfee does a nice job of getting outside and picking up a first down here that we needed to keep this drive going.
That's right. That's right. Cole is a third-year starter this year at quarterback, and the other night we saw a couple of instances that was really good to have someone that had his experience to go into that game with.
You can't teach that right there. Kelvis Rhodes, that avoiding that tackle with just that limp leg, and then it gets a late hit on top of it. Watch him right here. Yeah. There's Dakota Tankersley making a good block. Right there, just gives him that little limp leg, and he's down the sidelines.
And, you know, yeah, he's carrying that ball on his inside shoulder, and we'd all like to say, hey, get the ball on your outside, but that shows a little maturity. Don't take a chance. You know, if you got it, hold it there, get down, and we'll move from there. Hunter Cleary did a good job of coming in.
We ended up turning the ball over on downs. Disappointing possession. Should have scored right there.
It was. Well, they had 3 guys on Jake Rockhold just about all night, and that's what you're going to see. But a great job of Jay right there fighting off that lead blocker and making the tackle right there. Good job right here also. If you'll see, and every now and then you'll see it, our DBs are coming up very well. We played a little bit deeper last night because we just didn't know. Great job right here again by Jay Rockhold and Eder Moore.
That number 7 is a tough quarterback for them.
Really was. And, you know, we hit him hard. We really hit him hard most of the night.
Now, here's another special teams. Great job, though, of Brandon Dale fielding the punt.
Yep.
I mean, that's something we've got to do. This was a third down conversion. Great throw and catch by Brandon Painter.
We're going to see a lot of Brandon, aren't we?
Yep. Good hands. Does a nice job of bringing in the football. If it's anywhere near him, he can catch it.
He's a basketball player, gives us good height, good elevation, and great hands.
Good protection by the guys up front, and a nice throw by Cole, getting it out there where only Brandon could catch it.
That was a good
Getting it away from the
DB.
DB.
And that was good protection. That was the other thing. Great pull back there by our – we had one guy that slipped through, and B.J. steps it up. It's another senior right here, Marvin Hill.
Marvin making a tough run. You can see him getting bounced around in there, but picks up about 5 or 6 tough yards for us. We're back on defense now.
Yeah, we're back on defense, and they run just a little waggle. That was their number 1 play, and here we finished out the second quarter going into halftime. You know, the guys played hard in that first half, but we had some things we needed to correct.
We'll be back in just a minute with the second half highlights of the Ringgold game.
Got car problems? That's no problem for AAA Transformers Transmission Specialists. Bring your foreign or domestic vehicle into AAA Transformers and have our certified master technicians perform the most comprehensive diagnostics over any other shop. AAA Transformers utilizes the latest technology, so you can rest assured that you get the proper diagnosis the first time, so only necessary repairs are made. Save time and money on all your brake, AC, tune-up, and transmission needs, all backed by the best warranty in the business. That's AAA Transformers Transmission Specialists.
When is the last time you have compared your car, life, or health insurance cost? At Advanced Insurance Strategies, we know your time is valuable. Therefore, we have developed AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com. You can now go online anytime, anywhere, and get quick and easy quotes for your car, life, or health insurance from respected companies such as Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia, Assurant Health, Alliant Health Plans, and Drive Insurance from Progressive. Receive unparalleled customer service from a local insurance agency while using AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com.
AstroTurf is grateful to have been a part of this community over the last 40 years. And as Whitfield County has grown, AstroTurf has grown to be the leader worldwide in synthetic sports surfaces. Our assistance with the area parks and the new AstroTurf arena will hopefully show the community our appreciation. Soft, safe, and the most durable technology available today, AstroTurf. It's the new generation. This is not your father's AstroTurf.
Welcome back to Catamount Football. We're going to take a look at the second half highlights from the Ringgold game of last Friday night. And Coach went in at halftime, talked to the team. It was 7-6. What'd you tell them?
Well, that we just need to do things better. I mean, that we weren't doing anything wrong. We just needed to hold our blocks a little longer. We need to be a little bit more aggressive in our defensive front and in our secondary. We need to be a little bit more physical. And, you know, these guys did an outstanding job of just basically coming back and responding to that. Great job. Here you see Coach Carpenter called a little blitz off of our corner into that play right there. But outside of that, great job of Leighton Reese. As I've said earlier, another name you're going to hear a lot this year, whipping the block and getting to the point of attack. Come back, and they run a little draw play, and Edward Moore steps up, Lyle Durham right there. Nathan Bryant comes up from free safety, and that's just a great play right there.
Get a 3-and-out, which is exactly what you want to start any half of football. And
absolutely.
Here comes Brandon Dale.
That's right. Now
it just makes it even better.
Well, and, you know, there's so much of this that they do exactly what we've told them to do. And then there's just
something like that.
no, that's the freelancing right there. But Brandon's a guy. He's an exciting guy. He's a guy that we're going to try to get the ball to him in as many different ways as possible. He's got a couple of neat little things that he does with the football, and this is one of them. He has a way of finding those little cutback lanes. And, you know, he doesn't have blazing speed, but he's a lot faster than you think.
Saw Robert Hardaway come in there and clean somebody off the mat, too, with a great peel-back block.
And right now our special teams is just that. It's only about 15 guys.
A little toss sweep here to the tight end side that time, and guys get out there, and Kelvis picks up a good 8 or 9 yards. And, you know, starting at the 25 is fantastic. Nice throw and catch right here. Touchdown to Brandon Dale from Cole Calfee.
Great job.
Just excellent execution, great pass blocking, and a good route. Led to a quick score.
One thing that you had mentioned earlier was we watched this replay. I know that is asking me frequently, why do you run the ball into the short side of the field? I mean, why did we do that then?
It kind of gives you, it's funny to say, but it gives you an advantage. A lot of times you can get numbers over there, even though you don't have as much space to work with. You can outnumber the defense, outflank them, and as long as the backs are cutting it uphill or downhill, you're in good shape.
Yeah. Well, we do right there. Grant Sain is our new snapper on our field goals. We had great snaps the other night. We kick off the ball. One of our kickoff guys is Pepe Gardia. Great job right here once again. You know, we began to develop that cushion. We don't run a lot of options. So with that was a little bit new for us. But you'll see it right here. Our end takes the dive. Safety comes up on the pitch man, and just a great job right there of Edward Moore. You know, and that's exactly what we're looking for. And this right here, huge hit by Devontae Davis and by Nathan Bryant. Nathan Bryant comes up from the free safety, who generally has to be the nail. Everybody else gets to be the hammer because they get to run 20 yards before they hit the free safety. But this is a great job right here of Nathan stepping up, making contact with him. When he makes the contact, he slows him down. Devontae puts the hat right where we tell him. And then Robert Hardaway and big Chris Hicks and Edward Moore, they're right there on the ball. And that's exciting as a coach, particularly a defensive coach, to see these guys do exactly what you ask them to do. And no, we didn't script it, but golly, it felt good to do it.
Absolutely. And starting from when you're offense, you're starting from your own 4-yard line. You want to get at least 2 first downs. That's kind of the goal. Anything else after that is gravy. But offense here does a nice job of not only getting 2 first downs, ends up getting a lot more by the end of the possession. Great run after the catch by Brandon Dale right there.
That's one of those things that he does exceptionally well. I mean, he's just a guy that's got a knack for the ball, and we all call them playmakers. I don't know if it's a playmaker. It's just they got great engines, and they just keep running. They keep going. They don't let one guy bring them down.
This was an outstanding drive. It ended up being a 96-yard drive before it was all over. A little power play or counter right there. Nice blocks, good run by Kelvis again. I think he ended up with about 170 yards rushing.
Yeah, and you know, the great thing about this was I remember us stepping into that huddle right there and asking these guys, do we have 96 yards in us? Can we go 96 yards? Forget the game. Can we drive the ball 96 yards? And that's what I loved about the fact that they responded to that. And, you know, to basically be able to flip the coin right here, flip the quarter, and bam, right here it is.
Here's the sweep again into the short side of the field like we were talking about earlier. You'll see a nice block by Jake Roberts setting the corner.
Well, he does.
BJ picking up a blitzing linebacker, and Hunter Cleary kicking out the corner and just walks it right in for a touchdown.
Once again, great protection up front. Kiko Rodriguez, good hold. from Brandon Painter, and then a great snap by Grant Saint.
Nice to go 3 for 3 on the extra points difference in the game, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and look right here. I mean, here's how big is this, to have a guy that can kick the ball, Pepe Gardia, stick that thing 2 yards deep in the end zone. That's what we're going to ask him to do this year, is just kick it deep. Great job right there of Robert Hardaway pressuring, and I'm going to tell you right here, they caught us in a missed coverage and just took advantage. But, wow, what a great right here. To step up, Lyle Durham does a great job. Devontae comes in there. You know, great pursuit right there, Salvador Alejandre.
7 red hats on that tackle.
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, that's what makes the difference, is when you have that.
Here's the portion of the game where you would like to have seen our offense take control and keep the ball. You're getting some good movement, some good plays, just not very clean, and now the ball pops out and Ringgold's got a chance. There was a big hit by the safety.
It was.
On a young running back right there.
It sure was. Great job right there by their defense. They were running the midline on us the other night. You know, it looks a lot like the veer, but it's more of like a power with the quarterback and the fullback. And just a great job right here of our guys stepping in there and staying with it. But, you know, they come back and throw just a little old, we got caught in a blitz there, and that's exactly what you want, you know, to call a play into the blitz. So I'm not going to say they were lucky, but it was really good job there of them.
21-19, 7 minutes and 32 seconds, and just not able to get a lot going on this possession, end up having to punt, and Eder just really does a nice job of flipping the field.
He does, and Coach Napier said it. This was a 61-yard punt, and it really, you know, this right here really it changed that last quarter. It really did, because now it truly made it have to be a drive for them and not just a short field. So they come back and they try to run a little midline, come back again. Great job right there of our guys. Nate, once again, Jordan Keener and Leighton Reese doing a good job. You see right in there, that's some big hitting. And once again, right here, Robert Hardaway comes up, hatchets the ball out. We told those guys, we've got to have the turnovers to win this game. And I want you to look at Aaron Mortar fighting. He is not going to give that ball up. You'll see right here that's our tackling drill. I mean, that's why we're going to be doing them again this week, because that's what happens right there. But senior leadership also, taking and transposing what you do on the practice field and putting it into a game situation. I love seeing all those catamounts come off and get those guys jacked up.
Come back with a power play, and Kelvis hits it right up the middle. He's got both hands wrapped around the ball. I like to see that. Back with the toss again. Jake Roberts making a good block. There's Hunter Cleary out in front.
Good job.
Went out of bounds right there. Like to have seen him be able to stay in, but sometimes you just can't manage it. Run the belly. Tried to pick up the first down, and he got tripped a little bit over one of the guards and ended up turning the ball over.
So we come back right here, and this is an interesting play, and it's one that, you know, it wasn't pass interference. It was helmet-to-helmet contact. You know, I don't know what that crazy guy is yelling at coming on the field, but this was really not a good call. And it was unfortunate, but it did flip the field for them. Got the ball on our side. But as you can tell right here, they held Leighton, and then they're going to come back and do the same thing again right here. If you'll watch, number 35, see him pulling his jersey, number 63. They get him for holding there again. So now, great job there. We move it back one more time. You know, that's not even one he needs to discuss with anybody. So now they come back and run just a little old flip pass. Great job right here of J. Rockholt, and what a big pop there by Robert Hardaway and Humberto Corona. Good job of Ethan and those guys coming up as well and supporting that. And thank the good Lord, that old clock just ticked right off.
It was not going fast enough there in the last few seconds of the game.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But an exciting game for our Dalton fans, an exciting game for our coaches and our players. Our best wishes to Ringgold this week as they get prepared for another opponent and move forward. And you know what? Good team, good coaches. They're going to win a lot of football games.
Absolutely. They're going to be successful this year. There's no doubt. Nice sportsmanship there. Everybody shaking hands, lining up.
Absolutely.
Wood, $2.99. Wood, $1.59. Set. Mike Jones here, and you better blitz to Carpet Express. We have 3/4-inch hardwood for $2.99 a square foot. We have engineered wood for $1.59 a square foot. And to help you reach your goal to put wood in your home, Carpet Express is offering a 25-cent a square foot rebate. So rush into Carpet Express while supplies last, because everybody's out to get their quarterback.
Have you ever heard the term, your eyes are your expressions, the windows to your soul? But when your eyelids look tired and they start to sag, it will make you look much older than you actually are. There is a simple surgical procedure called a blepharoplasty or eyelid tuck, which can help to rejuvenate and redefine the contours around your eyelids. It will even improve your fields of vision, and a portion may even be covered by insurance. We can help redefine how others see you.
No, I'm not at home today. No, now I can have all of my phone calls forwarded and do all kinds of cool things now that I've signed up with OptiLink.
You're the star with OptiLink from Dalton Utilities. Local customer service, lightning fast internet, stellar phone and television at affordable rates.
I'd like to thank my mom and my friend Cassie and the phone guy from OptiLink.
Don't you deserve the star treatment? Sign up with OptiLink today.
With OptiLink, I'm the star.
Welcome back to Catamount Football. And Coach Land, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming schedule for the Dalton Catamounts. Got an open week, and it's kind of strange to say, but it's really great timing after your opening game, right?
It is. Our guys are hitting I don't want to say lull. That would be incorrect. I think they're just hitting a point right now where we just need a little bit of a break. These kids, these guys, we were thinking about this the other day. We lost to Gainesville. And these guys came to us. I mean, we wanted to take about a week off, and they came to us and said, hey, we want to start Tuesday. So we started Tuesday, November the 8th. These guys have been going since then, and they've not taken many days off. Outside of dead week and a couple of vacation days that we've given them along the way, these guys have pretty much been going after it. So I think just as a refresher, I think they need it. Second of all, it was a very physical game the other night, but we had a very physical camp. And then we come back and go straight into the Daresville scrimmage, which was a very physical game, and then this game. So I think their bodies need a little bit of recuperation as well. I'm excited because it's going to allow us to get back in the weight room and get a couple of workouts each day, back to kind of what our schedule was for the summer. And, we're all creatures of habit. So, I think that'll be good for us as well.
This gives you the opportunity, too, to spend some mental time. Maybe not as much on the practice field, some more meeting time to kind of watch the film and correct the mistakes. And there's no better way for a player to learn what they did than to see themselves doing it.
No doubt. And the obvious conversation is always going to be, well, you got 2 weeks now to prepare for your next opponent. Really, we don't, this is something that I kind of picked up from Coach Chappell. Coach Saban is this way. You really, there's not really anything you can do the week prior to your playing that team. So we use that week to go back to fundamentals. I mean, we're going to go back because that's the one thing. It doesn't matter who we're going to play. We got to block and we got to tackle. We got to work on execution. We're going to work on special teams. So it is an opportunity to go back and get in that film room. And now we not just have practice film. We watch a lot of practice film with the guys. But now we're going to have an opportunity to see it in a game situation, talk through some of those scenarios. And then I think the other thing is it still allows us an opportunity. We've got some young guys that could still come out and challenge for a few of our starting positions. And I'm excited about that because that practice will be spirited. And I know coaching will be, it'll be fun as well to get out there and see those guys still trying to work for a number one position.
Absolutely. And as far as Calhoun goes, I mean, played him now for the last, 6 or 7 years in a row. So we kind of know what they are and they know what we are. And it's going to be a tough, hard-hitting, close football game like they've been for that period of time.
Well, if they come out in two tights with a straight T backfield, then I'll eat my words. But I think we all know Calhoun's going to do what Calhoun does. We're the same way. We're going to do what we do. And I think that's the great thing, that we have a mutual respect between our programs. We'll be practicing some scenarios because we always work on a three-man front. Well, they're a three-man front on defense. We always have a split period where we're always working on combination routes and passing. Well, those may be a little more geared toward their routes, but no, Calhoun is going to be Calhoun. We know what they're going to do. They're going to have an excellent passing game. They're going to have an excellent special teams, and they're going to be very aggressive and physical on defense, and they're going to be well coached. And, that's a formidable opponent no matter who you're going to play. And our guys understand that. They know the task at hand. But I think this is that week that we need to go back and we need to focus on Dalton. So we're going to spend this week focused on us. next week we'll pick up focusing on our next opponent.
Absolutely. I think good week for the guys to correct some mistakes and get better.
No doubt. We'll be doing that a lot, I'm sure.
So right here, back with more Catamount football in just a minute.
A restaurant should be more than just a place to eat. Enjoy community, tradition, and unbeatable home-style cooking at the Oakwood Cafe, located in historic downtown Dalton. Our food, fair prices, and friendly staff have made the Oakwood Cafe one of the fastest-growing businesses in Georgia. We offer catering services that can bring our distinctive flavor anywhere. We also provide the opportunity to team up with us through franchising. Whether you're a newcomer or a regular, stop by and have the dining experience you've needed. Come feel at home with us at the Oakwood Cafe.
We got a hit. Here comes dinner!
I'm not eating that.
There's no place like Outback for our perfectly grilled shrimp and new Royal Port Catch.
I can't believe you guys didn't catch anything.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy. Get one-on-one training from former professional and collegiate players, featuring indoor baseball and softball training facilities, ground ball area, 3 pitching mounds, and 4 batting cages. Performance Sports Academy is also available for team rentals. Call 706-537-3169 today and train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy.
Honesty, integrity, and hard work, leadership, quality, and value. Just a few words to describe the company and people that make up Shaw Industries. Shaw Industries, the world's leading carpet manufacturer, is proud to be a sponsor of Dalton Catamount football. Shaw Industries, where great floors begin.
Back on Catamount football, and Coach Land, we've come to the final segment of our first show this year, and just kind of recap, the first week and kind of talk about your overall feelings of where we sit right now.
I think it's going to be an exciting year. If I look at our game the other night, I see a lot of promise. I see a young team. I see a team that's going to have some bumps and bruises along the way. I see a team that may struggle with a couple of things at first, but what I know about this team is they're high character. That's what I first know. Second thing, I think what we've experienced is just what we saw in that game. Hardworking. They're going to be in condition. We're going to be able to be in every game we play. Third, I'm excited about the fact that each one of these guys have an expectation to win every game. Doesn't matter who we're playing. That's really not important. What's important is that we go out and expect to win and work and prepare for that expectation. And then I think the biggest thing is I'm just excited to see that Dalton flame rekindled. I'm excited to see the spirit and the community and the fans. I'm excited about all the emails and the text messages and the encouragement. I'm excited about our mentor program. I'm glad it's fall. I'm glad it's football season again. I think 2012 is going to be an exciting year for our family. I think it's going to be exciting for the Catamount Nation, and I think there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to enjoy talking about as we go through this year.
Certainly continue to receive an excellent level of support from the quarterback club.
No doubt.
Cheerleaders, the band, just everybody that makes Dalton football an experience. Those guys and gals are all back this year and stronger than they've ever been, right?
That's the great thing about Dalton football is, there's just so many things that are sustainable as we look through your years and my years. And I was talking to Chuck Harris, he did our pregame devotion and talking about Catamount even before that. And the support that our quarterback club gives us, the support our administration, Ms. Freeman, gives us, the students of Dalton High School, our band. We were practicing the other day, and they're practicing on the field, and they're going to be wonderful this year. Our cheerleaders do an outstanding job. It is going to be an exciting year. And when I look at our team, I don't see any weaknesses. I see some things that maybe we're not going to be as good as some other teams at, but I don't see anything that we shouldn't kind of hang our hats on and be able to say, hey, that's something we're going to work at, or we're going to be good at, or we are good at. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. I think the thing that I want to see is just continued, just see, that we keep asking that question, what can we do better? And I think if our community asks that, our city asks that, our county asks that, we ask that, I look for a great year this year, not just out of Dalton, but also out of all of our area schools this year.
We've even revamped the TV show, filming in a new location here at Harmon Field. Got
That's right.
Brandon Brown Productions that's in charge of the TV show, and just excellent quality, and continue to strive to even make things like this better every week, right?
Absolutely, and I want to encourage our fans, be sure you catch the schedule. Some of the times are going to be the same. There'll be some times that might change. The other thing is, I want to invite them out. Our freshmen play at Lafayette at 5:30 on Labor Day. So, yes, it is Labor Day, and yes, we did do that on purpose because it is football season. So I want to invite everybody out to see that. We got a great group of freshmen. We've got 41 freshmen playing, and we are really excited to see the quality of football that those guys are showing at practice every day. So I know our freshman coaches are excited, and I know our players are. So I want to be sure we invite you out.
And if you're getting married or have an event you need photographed or recorded,
absolutely,
our guy Brandon back here behind the camera do an excellent job, and he's been with Dalton football for a long time, and certainly appreciate everything he does as well.
Does a great job, no doubt, no doubt.
Support your rec league teams, right? Rec league middle school guys that they've kicked off their season. A big win by John Patrick and his kids the other day. So looking forward to a great season of Catamount football. And I get to say again, we'll be back next week, same cat time, same cat channel. Thanks for watching.